Hi, I'm Mandy Walker, and you're watching My Divorce Pal, the divorce coaching program that helps you make the best decisions for you. This is the Is Divorce Right for Me track, and today we're talking about what if you disagree with divorce. What I'm talking about here is less about your wedding vows specifically, I talk about those in another module, and more about your views on marriage and the voice in your head that says, marriage is forever no matter what. Your love for each other will grow. All marriages have their ups and downs. You have to work at your marriage. Divorce is a cop-out. Divorce means I'm a failure. Using the worksheet with this module, start writing down all of these messages, even the ones you don't agree with. And don't be surprised if you hear a few new ones. These messages are often buried deep in our subconscious. And once you start bringing them to the surface, you'll become aware of other messages that have been influencing you. That brings us to the next step. For each of these messages, think about where it comes from. Maybe it's something you heard your grandmother say, or maybe it was something your dad would say. Think back to your childhood and hearing your parents. For example, there's a story on the news about a celebrity getting divorced who's only been married for a few months. And your mom says, young people these days take marriage too lightly. It's a commitment, and you can't just get out of it because you had an argument or you suddenly changed your mind. It could also be the story of how your grandparents were married for 60 years and had such a wonderful life together. Romanticized and fairy tale marriage that survived wars and economic hardships. They surely had their rough patches, but no one talks about those. Another source of these messages is the entertainment world. Movies, books, fairy tales, Disney movies, the knight in shining armor, Prince Charming coming to the rescue, the damsel in distress. You know what I'm talking about. Try to be as specific as possible about where each of your messages comes from, because they each contribute to your own beliefs about marriage and divorce. And we start formulating those beliefs at a very early age, and they're reinforced as we grow up. How were your messages reinforced? Do you remember hearing stories of the black sheep of the family? I had an uncle that no one talked about except in hushed whispers. He left his first wife and emigrated overseas. Rumor had it his wife was an alcoholic. At the time, both the alcoholism and the divorce were no-nos, and him being treated as a black sheep served to reinforce the message that divorce was not an option. Marriage is forever no matter what. I also remember a friend in high school talking about sneaking into the house at 2 in the morning and having boys stay over. Her parents were getting divorced, and they either didn't care or didn't notice what was going on. I heard my parents whisper disapprovingly about her parents' divorce. The message was clear. Divorce is not an option when you have children. You have to stay married for the sake of your kids. Perhaps your parents divorced when you were a child. What was your experience as a child? How does that affect your beliefs? Perhaps you're thinking that you don't want to put your children through what you went through. Now think about what your own experience has taught you and how that may be challenging these long-held beliefs. Do you have friends or co-workers or family members who are divorced? What are your impressions of their experience? Do they challenge any of your beliefs about divorce? Now think about your own marriage and what that's been like. How different is your experience from what you believed your marriage would be like? Are your expectations about marriage and divorce changing? Am I hearing a yes, but with some hesitation? Perhaps you're thinking that you can't change your beliefs just because it's more convenient to think differently now, or because it would suit you. I know that's a concern for some people, and I'd like you to go back to where your beliefs came from and what those beliefs were based on. They were probably based mostly on other people's beliefs that you've absorbed over the years. Now fast forward, what are your current beliefs based on? I bet they come from a lot more of your own first-hand experience and morals that you've learned along the way. No wonder your beliefs are changing, and that's okay. I'm giving you permission to do that. You get to decide to stop judging yourself against your earlier beliefs, and you get to show yourself more compassion and more understanding. So let's recap. If you've never believed in divorce and yet you find yourself having to consider it, it's helpful to first identify all the messages you're carrying about marriage and divorce, and then try to identify where each of these beliefs come from and how they've been reinforced over the years. Next, think about people you know and how their experiences with divorce and marriage challenge your beliefs. How does your own experience challenge your beliefs? Which beliefs have more validity for you? The ones you acquired from others or the ones you've formed through your own experience? Now, that's a lot of questions. Do use the worksheet that comes with this module to guide you through the activity, and take your time. Thinking this through may take a few days. Thank you for watching My Divorce Pal. I'm Mandy Walker, wishing you strength and courage, and I'll see you next time.